Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. As you can see from all of my friends around me and my t-shirt, we're going to be discussing one of my favorite game series of all time, Animal Crossing. Basically because I was playing New Leaf this past week, and if you read my Animal Crossing diaries every week, which sadly are no longer easily locatable on gaygamer.net. I actually have started posting them on Medium. You can find me as Wootini on Medium. And they're there just because it felt weird to not do them. I know people really loved them. They're more difficult to find now, but they're there. So now, instead of like tons of people reading them, like 4 people read them, but whatever, it's still fun to do. And if you read those, you know that this past week, while playing Animal Crossing New Leaf, I came out of my house to start my rounds, and Isabel was waiting for me. And she said, "Hey, it's a big day. Today, it has been 4 years since you became our mayor." And I was thrilled. I got a little misty during the little ceremony and everything, and thinking about playing this game for 4 years and everything. I got a little misty as they were like, "Thank you for being our mayor, you're wonderful." But I was also a little bit like shocked because I was like, oh my god, it's been 4 years already? And it got me to thinking about all the other games and how long I played those. Because the original GameCube game, that came out in 2002. However, I did not begin playing it until December 26th of 2002 because my husband got me a GameCube for Christmas with some games. He'd gotten it for free, so there were some not great games. It was like a wrestling game and stuff, and I was just like, no, I don't care about that. So I think I kept the Star Wars game, and I traded in the wrestling game because I'd seen Animal Crossing, and I was like, I'm buying Animal Crossing. And I went to GameStop. I remember going on the 26th, the day after Christmas, going to GameStop and being like, yeah, I want to trade in these games, and I want to buy Animal Crossing and a memory card, because back then, Animal Crossing, you needed your own memory card, because it took an entire memory card. So you had your memory card for your other games, and you had your memory card for Animal Crossing. It was special. So, but like, actually, did it come with a memory card? I don't remember anymore. I feel like it should have come with its own special memory card because it takes an entire memory card to do the game, to save the game. But anyway, basically, I've been playing Animal Crossing every day of my life since December 26th, 2002. So that's basically over 14 years, just over 14 years of my life where I have been playing Animal Crossing every day, basically every day. Not literally every day. When I had the DS and the 3DS versions, those I played every day. Well, the 3DS one, obviously, I still play every day. But the DS version I played every day because it was portable. You bring it with you. You can take it wherever, and you can play that. You can play every day, so it's not a problem. When it was on my GameCube or my Wii, those I tried to play every day, but sometimes it just wasn't possible. I was out of town and I couldn't bring it with me. Whatever, so I'd have to skip. And then I'd never time travel. I don't like to time travel. However, if I was out of town and it was a holiday or something special, I would time travel to the holiday to at least experience the holiday. But I wouldn't time travel to experience every single day that I missed, because that's cheating, in a way. But I looked up the release dates of all of the games because after, of course, the GameCube game, I bought the DS the day it came out. And then, of course, by the time City Folk came out, I was with Gay Gamer, so I received an early review copy of that, as well as New Leaf. But essentially, they were on like a 3-year cycle. So, like, 3 years after the GameCube one came out, there was your DS. There was Wild World. And then 3 years after that, you had City Folk on the Wii. And then 3 years after that, although it wasn't exactly 3 years, Hang on, I wrote it down. No. It was 5 years after City Folk. That's when New Leaf came out. So, not 5, it was 4.5. It was like 4.5 years. So technically, I've still played City Folk longer than I've played New Leaf. But, basically, by this fall, New Leaf will be the longest running Animal Crossing game that I have been playing straight for its entire run. Because there's no word on a Switch version. I am hoping that Nintendo says something at E3. I'm assuming they're going to say something about it at E3. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't said anything yet in all of their directs and everything. Like, when I watched the Switch presentation, I was super disappointed. I was like, where's Animal Crossing? Like, come on. So I'm assuming that it's going to be part of the E3 Direct, and it will be there, and they will talk about Animal Crossing and what we're going to get out of it. Because we did not get an Animal Crossing on the Wii U. I have no proof of this, but I'm assuming they were working on it, and then when the Wii U wasn't doing well, they said, nah, just stop. We're going to move development onto the Switch, because it's not worth making a Wii U game, because it's not going to sell. We're wasting our time. We'll put our energy into a Switch version. And they said, but we've done all these beautiful character models. And they're like, fine, fine, fine. And I feel like that's when they were like, fine, we'll use those models, we'll do Animal Crossing Plaza on the Wii U, where we can show off the character models, it'll look all pretty and high def, and it'll just promote New Leaf. Tell everybody to go buy New Leaf still. And I feel like we're going to get those beautiful character models on a Switch game. It usually releases in the fall, though not always. I would love it if at E3 they announced Animal Crossing in time for the holidays, Animal Crossing Switch, whatever they're going to call it. They're not going to call it Animal Crossing Switch, but I would die. I would love that. It would be fantastic. However, not going to hold my breath. It might be in the spring, whatever. If it's in the spring, then New Leaf becomes the longest running Animal Crossing game. But I assume that we're getting it soon, hopefully. As for what I would like from a Switch Animal Crossing, I don't know. I mean, we're obviously going to get prettier graphics, because, you know, the Wii U Animal Crossing Plaza graphics looked lovely. So we'll get like a beautiful high-def, high-res Animal Crossing town to walk around in. I am going to miss the 3D. I will say that. Just because when I was on the train one time and I was playing Animal Crossing, I noticed my battery light had turned red. And I said, oh crap, what should I do? And I'm like, it's fine. And I turned off the wireless and the Street Pass, and I turned down the 3D, and I said that should save enough battery, I can finish doing my rounds and save, and it's fine. It did not. In fact, the power did actually just blink out while I was playing, so I had to plug it in when I got home and restart and deal with Rossetti and do the whole thing all over again. But that was annoying. But what I found really disturbing was playing it in 3D. Because after all these years of playing it in 3D, it's like looking down into a world, a three-dimensional world that you're, you know, moving around in. So to suddenly have it be flat, it was like, ugh. So I am going to miss the 3D quite a bit. I don't know, like, it was interesting playing the Animal Crossing Mario Kart track, because you're, like, kind of, like, on the ground. And the idea of playing Animal Crossing from that perspective, like, in the town, is kind of cool. Not a first-person game. That would be weird. Although I think I might love it. It would be, like, the most immersive Animal Crossing experience. But it would be weird. I feel like you need to play Animal Crossing from above. Because you need to be able to see exactly what flowers need watering, where the weeds are, where the holes are, how to judge, you know, where the fish is, and where the bug is so that you can catch it. If you were down on that level, I think that would be spatially just too difficult to gauge and see. Now, they do have, it's an overhead view, but you can switch to a lower view so that you can see the sky. But you can't actually do anything except stand there and look at the sky. So if they wanted to incorporate that view, but then let you move around in that view, I wouldn't be angry. Because then you could have the slightly more you are in the village view, but you could switch back to the overhead view when you needed to fish, or when you were trying to catch a bug, or to see which flowers need watering so you can aim better. I just think it would be nice. It would actually be interesting if they had you in the overhead view, and when you went to have a conversation, then you got the zoomed in, low to the ground, you are there view. That would actually be fantastic. Because with the higher res character models of a Switch game, you could get in that close and it wouldn't be a problem. I would also like to see better AI. I've always wanted better AI in Animal Crossing games. And I mean, each one is slightly better than the previous one. Like, I noticed in New Leaf that occasionally, like, you would talk to somebody and they would say, "I like that hat you're wearing. It's very cool." And sometimes they would make, like, a specific comment about the outfit you were wearing. Like, if you were dressed like a fireman, they'd be like, "Hey, are you putting out fires?" You know, like, they knew what you, like, and it was kind of shocking, because you're like, usually it's just the same generic stuff, and it's not that interactive where they're, like, reacting to exactly what is going on. So to have them suddenly, like, remark on your exact outfit was kind of startling, and you're like, wow. So that kind of interactivity, I think, would be so much more interesting and immersive in an Animal Crossing game. Just to have that kind of, you know, it would just feel so much more natural, you know, and real. I would also like them to bring back the letters, because one of the things that made my husband not want to play, he loved the GameCube version. He had his own little house in a section of town in the GameCube version, and he loved writing dirty limerick letters to the animals, because they would then show me the letter and say, "Look at this wonderful letter I got from Frankie. It's so cute and sweet and wonderful. I love him." And I'd read the letter and it would be like a dirty limerick, and I'm like, oh my god. And it's funny. But then with Wild World, it was harder because I had the DS with me, so it was harder for him to play. I think he tried City Folk on the Wii, because it was at home, but he didn't like it because it wasn't fun for him anymore, because he couldn't write the letters and show them off. So I'd like them to bring that back. I've had in New Leaf a couple of times, animals have said, you know, "Oh, this letter that you wrote me is so wonderful," and they'll show me the letter, and I'm like, "Ah," but it's like super rare, like it never happens. I also want them to bring back being able to send letters to another town. Because in City Folk, you could do that, and you could visit a town, like through through the internet, you would visit your friend's town, interact with their animals, where when you came home, you could send letters to another town. Like, it was possible, I remember this. And in New Leaf, you cannot. And that's, like, super annoying. Like, I want to send my friend a letter. And it's just, you know, it's a way of just, like, in-game being like, hey, if you're around on Saturday afternoon, come to my town. You can invite them over, that kind of thing. I mean, obviously, it's reality, you could just send them a text. But, you know, whatever. So, they'll obviously have all the internet connectivity that they've had since starting it with City Folk, and then what they've done with New Leaf, obviously. I'd like some more activities, you know, like the hide-and-go-seek game, which, actually, now that I think about it, I haven't played in a while in New Leaf. Nobody's asked me to play that in a while. I get a lot of, hey, can you deliver this package for me? And I find a lot of lost items on the ground. But, you know, something like the hide-and-go-seek game, it's fun, and it's something to do, and I'd like more of that. I know that in New Leaf, you can go to the island, and there's all the adventure games that you can play with your friends, but I'd like more games to play with just the villagers, because for me, Animal Crossing tends to be a solo experience. It's a single-player experience. Because when the game first comes out, lots of people are playing it. You know, for the first 6 months, 6 to 12 months, whatever, first year of its existence, I can visit towns, people will visit my towns, it's very fun. But after a while, everyone else dies off, and then I'm the one that's left playing it by myself. So I would appreciate it if there was more stuff like the hide-and-go-seek game, where there were more activities that you could do with your villagers, since they're my only loyal friends. So I'm going to keep playing New Leaf, and like I said, if you want to read my diaries, they're all on Medium. Not all of them, obviously all the diaries I've been doing for years since City Folk first came out in like 2008 I think it was. Since 2008 I was doing my diaries, because it was my way of creatively reviewing City Folk, because you can't just play it for a week and review it. I mean, you could, but you kind of need to spread it out, so I basically started doing that as a way of reviewing City Folk, and then it was fun, so I just kept doing it, and it turned out to be one of the most popular articles on Gay Gamer. So, I've been doing it since 2008, until the site went down. Unfortunately, all of those diaries are now lost to the internet void, after the site went down. So if you go to medium.com and look for Crusades or Wootini, you can find my Animal Crossing diaries there. And, I will continue to live in Geneva until they release the Switch version, and then I will move to a new town and say goodbye to Geneva. At least the Switch version I can play both at home and on the go, so. Because the on-the-go Animal Crossing is the best Animal Crossing, because I can bring it with me wherever, and I can always make sure to play it every day. If it's just a console version, it's hard, and I've got to like come home from work and make a point of playing it, and, you know, sometimes it's hard to get the time to play it, so portable is best. Speaking of portable, I know there's a mobile Animal Crossing game, although I don't remember if they said when that was coming out. Now I'm not sure when that was supposed to be, but I know they're working on it, and I will free up some hard drive space on my phone so that I can download that, because obviously I will be playing that. Because I'm all about the Animal Crossing. So, come back next time, and I'll talk about something that's not Animal Crossing. And until then, happy gaming! Bye!